Okay, so we're doing the recording. Randy, I'm going to go ahead and mute you. And I need to turn off my live dials. If not, they'll give me a call. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into everything for today, okay? So I want to start off like we always start off is we start with, going over the numbers for last week. So, little disappointed about the numbers. One of the reasons we really did not have very many of you guys that actually worked and went into the field, okay? So I have Julie, she's always very consistent. She's at 11,484. We got Stacy Big Meat, she's a new producer. So she just actually just got her license and then just had her first policy. So she sold one application for 2,602. I have Adam W. He is a repeated, agent that actually went into the field for 2 weeks in a row. So very proud of him for his consistency because he's, making that, his job. And he did one application for 1,608. I have Justin K, which he's a new producer as well. This was his first application. His was for one application for 504. And then we have Stephanie Wright, who just joined the call. So congratulations, Stephanie, on your first one as well. You sold one policy for 462. So great job. So the agency totals for this week were 31,850. So then also what I want to talk to you guys about today, obviously, is about the telesales. So, this is something that's just super exciting, for everyone, right? You guys have so many different opportunities to make this work for you. Like you don't even have to leave your home if you don't want to anymore. So, that's just, it's just fantastic. So what I want to discuss with you guys, I hope that everybody got the email. Okay. Let me see if I can share the screen. So I'm going to share, let me see what's going on here. It's almost like it's going to let me. So this is what I want to share. So hopefully all of you guys can see this. Can you guys all see what I'm sharing with you? It is the website, right? So let's start here at the top here, okay? So if you guys have not been to this website, please explore it. Grady Polson had taken some time. He's the one that actually did this, but he did it for everybody at Family First Life. It's actually on the website for us. So, you don't really have to go too far. If you go to the fflinsurancetrust.com, you scroll down on the agent resources on that front page there, it'll say virtual sales, and you can just click on there and it'll take you directly to this, okay? So, on here, there's obviously several different hours of training on here. So obviously, I'm doing the hybrid approach. Okay, so the hybrid approach is whenever you're actually still continuing to do in-home and then you're adding in these types of sales. Okay, do we have people that start off with just telesales? Yes. People that are just doing in-homes and they're not really doing these? Yes. You can do whatever you want to do. That is the beauty of this. Okay, it's just, as you guys, most of you are newer agents to Family First Life, that, it's about consistency and about practicing, right? So, it suggests that you start here. Okay. So, this video is 1 hour long, right? So what you're going to do is whenever you have some time, you're going to start there, right? You have any phone script, I like that you need to learn. I'm going to go ahead and click here. Hopefully it'll come up. Let me know if it does. Did it come up? Yes, I'm assuming it did. No?
Yes,
Yes.
Can somebody let me know if it came up? Shorty,
yes, it came up.
it did?
Yes.
Let me see here. I don't know why I can't hear you. I heard you before. Okay. Shorty, I can't hear you. And I know you were trying to talk. Okay, so this here, I'm going to assume you guys can see this. This is the virtual sales. This is for mortgage protection. Okay. So, the phone script there is basically going over if you guys are doing like a mortgage, like how you can, and I say that's, practice this, what would you do if you had a mortgage protection and they wanted to do it on a Zoom? You can practice going through this. Now, a lot of people are like, I don't want to do a script because I sound so, robotic or whatever. Just practice with your significant other, practice just sounding robotic. Who cares what they're saying or how they portray this for you, because you're learning, right? You don't get it the first time. You just keep doing it and you'll be able to, obviously learn more. So then you go here, you can download this PowerPoint. I'm not going to click on it because I don't even know if you guys were able to see that. So I apologize if not. But here, this PowerPoint is very impactful whenever you're doing a Zoom. Like you can go through the PowerPoint, you can update it. It gives you those little, like you can fill it in, you can type in your information, add your license, add a picture of your family. And then when you're doing the Zoom, you're going to share a screen kind of like how I'm sharing it, right? Like I'm not really good at sharing these screens. Like I'm just getting used to doing it. So that's why if you're not getting everything and it's not correct, like just roll with me, right? But you would be able to click over and say, Mrs. Smith, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, I have a PowerPoint. I'm going to go ahead and go over. This is going to like guide them through, right? And then it gives you some more information and talks about, as we're going down here, Zoom sales, okay, face-to-face, virtual meeting where the client can actually see you, telesales. Now that's something that I just got off the phone doing, okay? So that is when you're just talking to the person on the phone. They can't see you, you can't see them. Only thing that they're really identifying with is your tone and your conversation and how you're interacting with them, right? So that's always got to be very important when you're doing a telesales. Okay. You want to but you want to be, approachable in a conversational type of way. Right. So for instance, I just got off the phone and I was talking to this gentleman. I was on the phone with him for an hour. We went through this application process. Very sweet guy. He starts telling me stories about history, his trivia. I mean, lots of different stuff. And I'm just listening to him, engaging with him, having a conversation as I'm filling out the application with him. Okay. So, things like that, just be prepared. So this one took about, 48 minutes. So, you'll have that, but, is it worth it? I didn't leave my chair. I just sat here, I was working in the office anyway. So, I'll take it. Right. So then we have here some more videos. Okay. So, as you can see, you can start here if you'd like to, it does suggest it. You go down here, selling insurance via Zoom. This woman here, I'm sorry, I don't know her name. She, is doing it as well. Have Grady here again with one of his agents going over the telesales. Okay. So this is for phone only. This is similar to what I did. He's been doing it for several months now, and he just does it by his pool or wherever, just as comfortable having engaging conversations with clients on the phone. Okay. This here is another new one that was just added. It's about 20 minutes. Okay. I have this one here, which is selling the telesales. Again, this gentleman, 28 minutes. So, already right here, it's about 3.5 hours of, training. I don't have to be the one to only do the training for you. These agents here, they've perfected it. They've been doing it. Most of them are issuing anywhere from $30,000 to $60,000 to $80,000 a month, which is fantastic. Not even leaving their home. Okay. So we go down here. Okay. This one here is the in-home and virtual hybrid method. Okay. Now, this is what I'm doing. Okay. She's doing this one here. I've watched this one of Vivian. Okay. She's actually doing, the Zoom with hers here. So, for me, I'm doing, Zoom if they need to. I'm doing the telephone if they need to, or in home, whatever. But whenever I'm scheduling an appointment, I usually focus on starting with an in-home first. Okay. Then I go into a Zoom, or if they, give me that pushback and they don't want to do the in-home, then I'm doing this, Zoom approach with them. Like I have one tonight at 6 o'clock with a family that I had sent over, a copy of the lead, text them, let them know that, I was going to be in the area. They reply, they want to do a Zoom. So, obviously I'm going to just set up a Zoom call. I send them out a text with the link and email, and then hopefully they, show up. But once again, I'm not leaving, the office or my home. Okay. So this here is actually what I just finished up with. Okay. Selling live transfer leads. Okay. How do you sell live transfer leads? You can go on here. And it says here, build trust. That's what I'm talking about. You're going to go over these things with them, and you're going to talk to them as if you're engaging in a conversation right in front of them. You're going to listen to them. You're going to have a good tonality to you. You're going to be respectful of what they're saying, but of course you can also push a little bit on the phone. Like for this gentleman, I had to push a little bit. He wanted to get off. He wanted to, have go over the numbers with his wife, send me over a quote. I'm like, I need to make sure that you're actually qualified for this. If not, all of the numbers are going to change. Like we can go through this process. We can see if you're actually qualified. And that way you're able to know if this insurance is even, acceptable. And then you could talk to your wife and we can go from there. He said, okay. I told him the first things that I need from you is going to be, your driver's license. I need your social security number. I need your, banking information. And he said, okay. As I'm going through the application, I didn't get a lot of pushback. I had already mentioned to him all of these things that I needed up front, because if you go through the whole appointment, you start this application and you haven't asked them for this information, and they're having to go get it, or they feel like they're just being, like sideswiped into getting it, then it's just not going to work, because they need to have all of that information so that you're not wasting your time, like kind of just like pushing into a sale that you think is going to happen, and then they just hang up on you. That doesn't make sense. So I mentioned to this gentleman all of those things that I needed, and he had them handy whenever I got to that part. I said, I need your driver's license information. Well, first I had to say, social, and he just gave it to me. And we talked a little bit about his social, because if you look at those numbers on there, like where they're born, things like that, we got into a little conversation like that kind of eased it up a little bit. Then I get to the driver's license part and I talk to him and I say, I need your driver's license. He said, that's great. I have it here in my hand. Oh, perfect. That saved a lot for me because he already had it in his hand. He didn't have to go shuffling for it. He didn't have to go get his wallet. He already had all of that information. I get to the banking part after asking for his beneficiary's birth date. He's like, well, let me just grab that check. I have it right here. Perfect. You're going to need that check. And he just went through everything, and it was actually, it was very smooth, but he had already anticipated what we were going to do. So that helps out a lot when you're doing these, because, as like on the phone calls for the dials, if you're not doing, when you're doing a dial, if they hang up on you or whatever, it's either you move on to the next conversation, or, you give them a call back, but it's, it's on the phone. You can't see them. So you want to get to that point quickly with these. But with the live transfers, the good thing about that is when you do the live transfer, it brings up all of their information. So for instance, if this gentleman, he didn't want to go through the process, he wanted me to send him out a quote, do all of that stuff, I have all of that information already on my screen for him, same as if you were just calling. I can just give him a call back, I can email him, I can follow up with him. Okay. But this here looks like it has some overcoming live transfer objections. This is a 19 minutes. So, you're going to want to listen to that depending on where you're wanting to start, right? This is a new addition too, transitioning from in-home sales to live transfers. This is for somebody that's already basically been in the field and they're looking to, transfer over. You click down here, this is a live transfer script. So what you do there is you can actually, use a script again. Here's the presentation, go from A to Z, meaning, from start to finish, topics to cover, to go over. It gives you a whole bunch of stuff here. So if you're wanting to try those live transfers, all of that information is here. And this isn't like, you know, like hidden, like, oh, this person doesn't want to tell us what they're doing. It's all here, informational right out. It's a system that needs to be followed. And when you follow that system, you look at these agents, you see their success. There's no reason why you guys can't do the same if that's what you're wanting to do, right? So then, you know, here just kind of goes into more like resources, right? Create your phone burner account, you know, create a Calendly, creating, you know, a Zoom account if you don't already have one. Here's some, you know, tools that you can use, a demo, you know, and then where to buy leads. So many people are like, you know, what kind of leads are you using? You know, I think these Family First Life leads, if you're going to be doing like telesales or anything like that, that's the best choice here. $11 a lead. So I did data lot for my live transfer. This one's, you know, you can get, you know, 20% up if you sign up with Leslie. I use a guy named Jason, so let me know if you're interested in doing that. But with my lead transfer here, these are $60 to $80, excuse me, a lead. Okay, so if you're not feeling like you want to spend that much money, the data lot, the smart financial, the all web leads, these are the live transfer leads. These are about $60 to $80 per call. So, you know, if you don't want to start there, practice over here. This is an $11 investment. And with this here, you guys can get those discounts from that work spot. There's no reason why you're not getting that discount and you're not using that. So these leads essentially can be $7. Like, you know, if you go through there, you practice with these, like, you know, you can either go into the home with them, you can, you know, do a Zoom, you can, you know, do a telesale, whatever you want to do, it makes sense. And if we scroll back up here, forget where it was. There is like a phone script somewhere. We'll have to figure out if you can, if we can get it. That's for just doing these, just kind of like, you know, getting the quotes or whatever they want to do and transferring it over to a sale. Okay. I haven't tried the Social First Digital. I know Steve Giordano has been using these. He's actually seeing success with it. And then you have the EverQuote. You know, I've tried them in the past. I'd rather stick to the CRM. Or, you know, I like the CRM and the data lot, because I've tried all of these. So for instance, I have the Smart Financial and I have these ones, but I usually just truthfully don't turn them on. I do the data lot because they have more information and the way that they engage their conversations with, you know, their transfer, I prefer a little bit better. So it looks, here we go. So here's some phone scripts. Okay. So, you know, here's for Zoom sales, telesales, like, you know, appointment setting. So what does that mean? Like sometimes when you're on the phone, depending on your state, like you have to reset up a time. You know, here's the prime times to call, set immediate appointments. You know, your average show ratio here is 100% for an immediate appointment. You know, same day appointments, 60%. You know, the more that you go, obviously it's going to become less, right? You know, you can use your Calendly. You know, this is very cheap. It's like $10 a month or something. And, you know, you can send everything over and be professional, create an account for your guys' self, depending, you know, even with your regular appointments, if you wanted to, you know, just to remind them. I usually with regular appointments, just send a text message, but you know, it is whatever you want to do. But here's an instant internet life lead. This is where I suggest that you guys primarily focus. It just makes the most sense. You can do the Zoom down here. You want to do telesales, you have appointment setting script, objections. You know, objections are always something that we get, and most likely it frustrates us when we get these. So, you know, being able to kind of look at it and you know, one of the things you guys got to remember is everybody's going through this. You know, somebody that's getting selling, you know, 30 to 60,000, they actually just went through more objections than you, more no's. You know, when they got an objection, they didn't get, you know, they just kept going, right? You know, text confirmation, email confirmation, you know, these are just, I guess, appointment settings. I'm still not clicking on them because I don't know if you guys can see them. So, you know, that is for phone scripts for virtual sales. Now there's so much stuff on this website. Like you guys, I mean, you can spend like a whole day here. Virtual sales presentation, you know, how to prepare, have your Zoom account, your insurance tools, your PowerPoint, immediately set the table. That means to take control. You have to still have control, if you're, doing these, because, you can't let them walk all over you on the phone, or they're just going to hang up on you, and there's not going to be any point in trying. You have to be able to still, have that control for them. Maintain client engagement, going to keep your clients focused on a presentation, even if they have a lot of questions. You want them, the goal is to have them talking more than you. Okay. So I guess is, getting them to ask the questions about everything, like this gentleman, he was talking way more than I was, telling me his stories, things like that. And I'm just listening to him because I know that's how he felt comfortable. These are some of the things that he wanted to share, and, hey, then, that's fine. I don't mind at all. And I actually learned some history back. So, I feel like, oh, I learned something today. Older gentlemen, how they are, use only a computer or a tablet. The phone is not large enough for them to use. And I agree here. I had to actually talk to a gentleman on the phone. So, if a client wants to do their Zoom on the phone, that's fine. But you should not be doing it. Because they're just really listening and looking. So if they have to do it on the phone, like my first Zoom that I sold, the gentleman it was on his, his phone. He was just kind of going through, he was out at like a mechanic shop thing, and we did everything while he was waiting for the car to be serviced. Fine with me. So then here's some other things, here's more PowerPoints. I mean, they're probably almost the same, but, like, just shows you like different things here. This goes into what are the best products for your virtual sales. Why are we focusing here for Americo, the cashback, and then, the John Hancock? Because of the signature process, because it makes it easiest. Like I just did Mutual of Omaha. The signature process is so much harder. I had to walk him through, the pop-up, like, we had to go through and have him undo his pop-up so that whenever he had the signature thing come through, he was able to actually have, it come through, because he had to hit the settings, do all that stuff. And it just, it's fine. I walked him through it. He didn't know how to do it though, so, I have to engage with him and help him fix his computer. Whereas these ones, it just goes straight to your voice, your email, and it just kind of, this one here is an instant approval. There's no signature required. You can do a voice signature here with this one. So that makes it really simple for you guys as well. So if you don't have your John Hancock, try to get that if you're doing this. They now have a return of premium, 45 and older. This one only goes up to actually age 60. But if you do have like a client that has maybe insulin, you can actually use this and get them a term as long as they have no neuropathy. So this one here is the same thing, the Aetna, it just does an e-app really quick, along with obviously the Eagle Premier, but this is like, a good pricing. Like I said, the Mutual of Omaha was actually for this one though, when I went and quoted him, the Mutual of Omaha was like literally like $30 cheaper. So that's why I kind of went there. Because I really don't want anybody replacing my business, but at least I want to do what's best for him. But it's a little bit longer of a process, and you have to make sure that you're going through everything with them to get them to, understand it. The mortgage protection here, you have the American Amicable, e-apps here available, for it, obviously you're going to send them over the email, all of that. This encourages you, if you want to add on some stuff with them, an accidental, it's also an easy process here. And how to figure out what to write, here's some cheat sheets right here on this page. So I suggest if you're going to be doing, say phone or tele Zoom, you have this bookmarked and opened on the side there. So if you need to reference to any of this, you just open it up. They have no idea what you have open on your computer. I mean, you guys do because, obviously I'm sharing with you. But, like here's a final expense, cheat sheet, the term cheat sheet, all of that stuff so that you guys have that available. Okay. So I just really wanted to quickly review all of this stuff with you. I want you guys to take some time. Obviously you don't, You don't need to, have all of that information like, perfectly, remembered, but I do want you guys to have it at least, take a peek at it, try it if you'd like to, just focus on, whatever's best for you guys. I have some chats here, so let me see here. Do you have the script for final expense? Wesley, it should be on there. If not, I would just use the either the mortgage or the instant internet lead and just add in the final expense wording for them. How do you word it to get the scheduled? I know that I need this hospital bed or not. So that's for the telesales. It just really depends on where the conversation is going. When you tell them to confirm the identity and things like that, that's to do an appointment. If they keep pushing back and they say they don't want to do it and they want to do this for telesales, you just, make sure that they have their ID. When you're doing these applications, you're putting in there that you did not see them. So you're not really held accountable if they are in the hospital bed or not. Hopefully they tell you, the truth. But there's nothing you really can do, and you mark in there that you're not there with them. So it's obviously a different review of an application, right? They would probably look more into their history and stuff like that, if that makes sense. You just do your script. Okay, thank you, Shorty. Let's see here. So the data lot email again, what does that mean? There's not really an email. I mean, I can go back to share the screen. Back here, let me share it again, and we'll go down to the bottom for the data lot. I mean, there's no email. This is the data lot. You would want to contact them. I prefer that you do, Jason. If you guys want to know, I can send over that information. But let me see here. So, I mean, telesales, here's an email confirmation, but the emails and stuff for the data lot, I don't know if this is the question that you're asking, but when you get a live transfer, what they're actually doing is they're talking to the client. You get to pick filters like, what kind of health issues or elements that this person has. And if you, want to, you can filter it out. Of course, it's going to be more expensive, but we actually can sell to most people. So it really doesn't matter too much. But when they do all of that, they gather that information for you. So you'll have his phone number, her phone number, email. You'll have, some of their information, like this gentleman had diabetes. It said health issues, diabetes. So you'll have all of that on there, and then you don't really have to send them an email, I guess, until maybe you want to initiate another phone conversation with them, or the conversation doesn't go well, they hang up. Then all of that information's there, and you can just kind of send them over something saying, hey, I think we got disconnected. This is the information that we went over. If you'd like, I really like to set up a time to review this with you again, and you could do it that way, if that makes sense. So let me see, any other questions? You're welcome. So I don't know why I can't hear anybody. Shorty, can you try to talk again? And I want to see if I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
I can't hear you. I didn't understand. I heard you when you first came on, right?
I thought you did. Can anyone else hear me?
I hope everybody, it's 1:33. I can't answer
I can
too many
hear
questions
you.
today. I do appreciate everybody being on the
could hear
call.
her.
Hopefully you have learned something. If you have any questions or you need anything from me throughout the week,
I hear
please just
Stephanie.
give me a call and I can help you out with it. Other than that, I hope you guys have a great dial day. If you're interested in the data lot, which is what I recommend, give me a text, let me know, and I can go ahead and I can send you over Jason. I use him. And then also, you know, if you're going to experiment and learn more about how to do these, I really, really say practicing on the CRM leads. Okay. So, you know, you guys should all be on that work spots where you can get that discount, you know, and you know, just like I posted Jennifer Snyder, she ended up like saving $500 on her leads. Like that's absolutely like just magnificent. I can't believe that she saved that much. It's just, you know, astonishing to me because she literally would have spent 500 more if she didn't pay $99 to have that discount. And that was only from one purchase. You know, if she goes through this leads, she spent you know, 800 because she got the 500 discount. She's, you know, going through those leads, she, you know, sells, makes $9,000, $8,000, $10,000. You know, she's going to buy more leads than again the following week and save another $500. You add that up at the end of the month, and that's $2,000 that she's saving, and she spent $99 to save $2,000. Like that's absolutely crazy. So Stephanie says it works about a monthly subscription or a year. You can do the monthly. So you can just do it every single month. It's on the website, the www.ffl Insurance Trust. It has it on there. So, you know, depending on where you are, usually if you're, you know, not currently going into the office, you're going to select the Akron office. And then what happens is there's going to be, you know, whenever you do decide to go into any office in your area, you would just check in there and it would kind of switch it for you. Okay. So I hope that helps there, but it's a phenomenal, you know, savings each time that there's this discount available. It makes no sense not to have it. So if you need help, Stephanie, going through that and somebody you know, walking you through it, we don't mind. Just, you know, either give me a call or Shorty, and then we can go ahead and help you with signing that up. Okay. And then Becky, you want to try Jason. So if you get me your email address, I'll have Shorty send it over to me again. Then we can go ahead and I can forward you over information for him. Okay, here, let me just copy this really quick before I end this call, because I'm going to, all right, so I copied that. Let me close this up again. So, okay, everybody, I hope that you guys have a great week. Please let me know if you have any questions or there's anything that I can help you with, okay? All right, I am sorry once again that you can't hear me. I mean, that I can't hear you. I will have to get this fixed. All right, bye everybody.